YouTube, WhitefallWolf here, and I have Martin with me. He's a friend from local in Copenhagen, a teammate, and we're going to be discussing the new limited and limited ban list, forbidden limited list. Um, we're going to discuss top deck, what might be hit there, and yeah, let's start off with the. Obviously, there's Firefist, Mermails, Rabbit, Dino-rabbit, Dark Worlds, Wind Up, and maybe Prophecy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the previously Forbidden Limited lists and seeing that there's 2 to 4 cards banned each time. So if you should, what would you have banned?
Well, I actually have written down 6 cards for the ban list. Even though that 3 would be somewhere where they will put it. But Black Luster Soldier and Murph the beginning, of course. But not seeing that it's more than 50% that they're going to ban it, since it doesn't do that much in the top decks right now. Agents use it, but that's the highest.
Chaos Dragons.
Chaos Dragons, yeah. But that's just it.
Sometimes Insectors, yeah. Splash. It's kind of splashable, but
it can be splashed because of Vader, Thunder King, and of course Turgard and Sangan.
And Trax and Gores and other hand traps like that, yeah.
Exactly. So I would like to see that on the list, since it's too strong. You just draw it and you win if you can summon it. Each card.
I agree. I have that one on my list too. It's just too splashable. It's just too powerful.
Yeah, and then we have Pot of Arrow-Rise, because the only decks using it right now aren't really. It's made with a restriction, but it's not a restriction for the decks. It's more like, hey, we get 2 cards and we can use all our combos again, and that's not fair in a card.
And the problem being is that the restriction was way more back in the days, and now when the format is progressing like it is, and decks becoming faster, it's just like dumping 5 monsters in the graveyard is so easy, and then just drawing 2 new cards and shuffling them back.
Yeah, exactly. So, Wind Up is the biggest factor with that card.
Mermaids also.
Yeah, Mermaids even, but still Wind Up, and we've seen it last format with Hunter, but still now they can't do it on first turn, usually, but then already on second turn they just, oh, you ruined my Shockmaster play, let's try it again.
It's still too powerful, so yes, I have written it down to be banned also.
Then we have Wind Up Send Mighty. I put that on the ban list. You see a lot of people just putting 1 Shark or 1 Magician, but if you put Shark to 1 alone, they will just search it with the Factory, and 1 Magician, 3 Magicians and 1 Shark is more than enough for the deck to work. Too strong, just like now. So I've banned Send Mighty, since all the big plays, the major pluses, comes off of Send Mighty. Most of the OTKs, the big advantages it provides when you summon it, it's just too crazy.
Yeah. What else do you have?
Then of course there's you have the 3 cards: Heavy Storm, Darkhold, Monster Reborn, and a lot of people are talking about banning some or maybe all, but even though I would want Heavy Storm, since I kind of like slow formats.
I do think power cards needs to exist in the game.
Yeah, they do need to exist, which is why I've only banned Monster Reborn, because using your own cards to destroy your opponents is fine, where we have Heavy Storm and Darkhold, but bringing back not just something you used before, but something your opponent used, combining a Darkhold with a Monster Reborn to turn something crazy against your opponent, that's just gross.
Yeah.
So Darkhold, Heavy Storm are safe for now, but I think Monster Reborn should get hit.
Yeah, it's too saggy.
Yeah, exactly. The other card is Yugioh Mind Augurs, just because loops shouldn't exist. A deck that takes at least 10 minutes to pull off, just to mill all your cards, or not even mill, that you draw all your cards, and then it ends. Then they just they stall for game 2, and just before game 3 they side in burn or life point gains and win from there on in time.
It's a nasty deck. They're just like playing with themselves.
Yeah, it's not fair that a loop deck should work that great, because they usually, if they go first, they won't lose to almost anything unless they get stuck by drawing some shitty hands, which is, it doesn't happen very often for the deck. It's like a worse but still good version of the FTK. We had some formats back, 4 formats back or something.
Yeah, you're just sitting there watching them play and sitting and watching the clock. You might as well just scoop game 1 just to make it.
Yeah, just so it won't get in time.
Yeah.
That if you see them, just if they don't get stuck in the first 2 minutes, you should actually forfeit if you're scared of going into time.
Mm.
Just forfeit game 1, of course.
Do you have any more on the cards that should be?
It's not something that I see on the ban list more than any other cards that are just good. But Red Eyes Darkness Middle Dragon, and that's mainly because of the cards coming out of in the next set.
Tachyon Galaxy.
Tachyon Galaxy, yeah. That's the Elemental Dragons, the 4 dragons that's coming out, where they gain effects by being removed, and they remove dragons, and with the trap card that adds a removed dragon from your remove pile to your hand. You can search Red Eyes from anywhere in your graveyard. You can summon it back. Your remove pile, get it back to hand. It can be searched from the deck, and they can search so many things, and they can sit with 0 cards and still summon a bunch of monsters just from the graveyard. So they don't need Red Eyes just to make it even more gross.
No. I have on my list, I have Avarice as you, and I have Reborn and BLS like you, but I also have Shockmaster.
Even though Shockmaster is a strong card, I don't think that it should get banned for the reason that it's not stronger than the deck that makes it.
I just I put it on the ban list because it's mainly in somewhat, I don't want to kill off windups. They should still be able to be played, but I want to limit their best plays. And the Shockmaster is not only used in windups, mainly heroes and gear. There's so many decks now that can just make easy Shockmaster, and it's just so ever-locking. It will lock you down. If you play Prophecy and they call spells, you're pretty much fucked. If
you don't have Priestess.
If you're playing Mermaids or Chaos Dragons and they call monster effects, you're pretty much fucked also.
No, you have Darko.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course, you don't have enough plays to make against it. It can shut down most decks too hard. But still, there are some decks that if you have the Hunter deck, Mahunter, Pahunter, and so forth.
The Thunder family.
Yeah, the Thunder family, and they can make it without it being too broken. Of course, it's a strong card, but the problem right now with it is just Magician Shock, 3x Siege, end with Solemn.
And you have a Rabbit returning.
Warning,
Rabbit returning.
And such shit.
I just think it's too overpowered for a card to exist, so that's why I put it on there. And I also have Card Destruction. It's too broken in Dark Worlds, and in decks like, I know Empty Jar isn't played right now, but in decks like Empty Jar and other, those stall decks there, when
where they go for
yeah.
decking you out.
So that's why I put it on there. If you had to narrow it down to 3 cards you want banned the most, you actually think that they're gonna ban, what would they be?
Avarice for sure should get hit. Then I would put Monster Reborn, cause Sagi card is Sagi, and then either Send Mighty or BLS.
I would do Avarice, Shockmaster, and I can't really decide between Reborn or Card Destruction, but either one of those.
Yeah.
How about limited cards? If you wanna, let's see. We have Fire Fist. They're mainly new, so you can't really hit. They're not gonna probably
you
not
can
gonna.
say you can hit them, but
No,
yeah,
they're probably not
won't-
gonna
they
do
won't
it.
kill it.
Yeah, and Mermaids, they're also fairly new, so it should be something. I heard a lot of people saying Dragoons might go, but I still think they're also fairly new.
If we're going to talk Mermaids, then of course Undyne should get hit as it doesn't fit in to the new 2 decks. There was a Konami article where they even said that they didn't fit into the deck, that where they tried to tell people how bad it was, but +2 is never bad. But they want to stop people from using it, and they had the cards with big X's on them, big red X's, which kind of shows that they might do something about them. And I'm pretty sure I've put Undyne on 1.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's just cover the top picks right now. So Mermaids, I'm thinking they're gonna hit some older cards like you said, Undyne or Diva maybe.
They might hit Diva, but that depends on they would. I don't think that they would hit both Undyne and Diva to a point where you wouldn't use them. If one Diva, you would use it anyway. I'm pretty sure, but still,
yeah, of course,
that would be too harsh.
How about Rescue Rabbit? What would you hit in that deck?
You mean
Dino-rabbit? Yeah, Dino-rabbit.
Dino-rabbit. Dino-rabbit. I would hit Rescue Rabbit.
2-1 or 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
That also hits.
It hits a lot of deck, but it's not because I want to kill Dino-rabbits, but it will be hard for them to exist with Rescue Rabbit on 1. But you have Fire Fist abusing Rescue Rabbit. You have the
Evil Swarms coming out.
Swarm, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more decks abusing it.
Harpies can use it.
Yeah, Harpies can use it. And the list won't stop until they stop making cards.
It's like I know it's like a better version of Rescue Cat, but it's still broken. Rescue Rabbit is still broken.
It's starting to get just as good now as Rescue Cat was when you had that Rescue Cat OTK version of it.
If we move on to wind-ups.
Yeah, that's...
The deck has lived long enough, so it should be... it's an overpowered deck. It really is an overpowered deck.
I really don't think that it should be competitive anymore. It should be played, and you could use it as a rogue deck, but nothing more than that. Okay. So where you have these alternative versions of it. That's why I think that Send Mighty and Shark are the ones that should get hit.
Okay.
You could also reason with hitting Magician and Factory.
Yeah, there's so much that could be hit in that deck.
Yeah, but that's the 4 cards you really want to hit, because Rat is not that overpowered.
I know.
And you wouldn't hit Rabbit. It's a good card, but you wouldn't hit it.
And it kind of promotes Tinky as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
So how about now Prophecies? In Tachyon Galaxy, the Judgment of Spellbooks was released. Do you think they might do anything to Prophecy yet?
Since it just came out in Japan, I'm not sure that they're gonna hit it, but I think that if they should hit it, and if they're gonna do it, it will be secrets being hurt, because it's
maybe to chew like every other
it's a
search
rota
card.
card just for their deck.
Yeah, like last list, every searcher card got semi-limited. They got hit to chew. Yeah,
and it's a search card, and it's a search card that even can be searched.
I mean, every card. It was emergency call. It was the heretic seal of that convocation. I think it is. Every search card got hit to chew.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so now that we covered a little of that, let's hear your limited list.
Okay, so I have Wind Up Shark as 1, so that makes Sand Mighty 0 and Shark as 1. As I said, I want this deck to be a rogue deck, not a top tier deck.
Not a broken deck.
Yeah. I want people to kind of forget about the deck, move on, but still let those people that really love the deck play it, but alternative versions. And by keeping Magician and Rat, the special summon cards, the ones that really make up for... It makes the deck slow, but you can still combo with them. Shark is just a broken piece of shit. Sorry.
It is. The deck in itself, it's just way too broken. And it's survived long enough. It survived 2 formats.
Yeah, but with Shark, it got the wrong effect being a TCG exclusive, because you can use this effect every turn. That's not Wind Up.
It activates in the hand, and you can use it every turn to go up or down, and it's already level 4. Yeah. It is broken.
Yeah, exactly. Then 1 Day of Peace at 1, because that's...
Fucked up deck shouldn't exist.
You just skip, you skip a turn. The only decks that want to skip a turn are decks that wins by
Exodia,
some alternative
burn.
way.
Yeah.
Exodia. It can be burn decks. I've seen burn decks use it, yeah. Even though you can burn after you use it, but use it last thing in your turn.
Just to draw cards and just to keep your opponent from killing you.
Yeah, the worst thing is, most of those decks, they don't care. Even if your opponent has 20 cards more than you, they don't care.
No.
Because you're not going to play them.
They just want the Swift Scarecrows and all that to just stall out battle phases.
Yeah, and the thing that it replaces itself, and if you then get to draw another one, depending on the deck, you're just going to use it again or skip for next turn with the final countdown deck or something shitty like that. Then I've put Ghosten and Rivalry of Warlords. Ghosten Match and Rivalry of Warlords to 1.
You really think they deserve to be 1?
Well, Wind Ups got hit, and they are one of the decks that hate that card most. But I don't want cards that
limit
you
your
activate
options.
and your deck doesn't care about it, but it just says no, you can't play any cards to your opponent.
It limits your opponent's plays.
Yeah, to nothing. If they can't get rid of it, they can't do nothing. One card that can ruin a whole deck that's too powerful.
But it's like saying Macrocosmos should also be, because some decks also die to Macrocosmos.
Yeah, but I haven't said all my cards.
Okay, so you've... oh, okay.
So yeah, of course, some decks like Agents, if they're not, they could use both Ghosten and Rivalry of Warlords, and Firefist can still use Ghosten and Rivalry of Warlords if they want. A lot of decks have the opportunity to still use one of each, so you can do that. But if you're up against a deck that uses Beast Warrior only and has a lot of different attributes, you would only be able to side Ghosten, which I think is fair, instead of just having cards that completely shit on your opponent's deck. Not just single cards, but every card.
Okay.
I don't like that. Then I have a Dimensional Fission one. I've actually I didn't hit the macrocosmos, but I have Fissure because Fissure being a card that just says
it can be activated immediately.
You can activate it immediately, so it stops hand traps.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think what it was meant for is every monster gets removed from play. That's what it says. Every monster gets removed from play. If you feel like removing spells and traps, you add Macrocosmos.
But Macro is more broken than D-Fissure.
But, but Dimensional Fissure, no, I don't think Macro is more broken. I think Fissure is broken as in, if you take in sectors, you send a monster to the graveyard, but it's not a monster, so Fissure doesn't care about it being sent to the graveyard. And the same with Exceeds. They're just cards, so they won't go to the graveyard. I think that's shitty, to say that. Because you can avoid what a card was meant to do by a few words.
But isn't that kind of contradictive? You say that Rivalry should go to 1 and goes to 1, but Macro is also hurting a lot of decks.
I think that Macro could also be hit. That wouldn't. I play Mermaids, so I don't exactly like being against Macrocosmos.
Either D-Fissure or Macro, yeah.
Yeah. But it's just that Macrocosmos is fine, as in you have to keep the. I want to keep the removing part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or banishing part, because there are cards that DD cards, DD Survivor, DD Scout Planes. I don't want to kill some certain ways of playing, even though they're not top tier. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be smart of Konami, which is why I don't think they would limit both cards or ban.
Okay.
And Macrocosmos also has that. You can special summon that Sun Primordial thing.
Yeah.
So it fits more into that kind of deck than Dimensional Fissure. And whereas Macrocosmos is a shit because it actually does what it says, but Dimensional Fissure can be sided.
And you can warning Macrocosmos. So.
Yeah, you can warning Macrocosmos. You can do that with Fissure, and Fissure is instantly, so it avoids hand traps. Okay,
yeah, I see your argument. What else do you have? Do you have any more on the limited?
Yeah, I have Undyne, as I said earlier, Genix Undyne, and then I have Rescue Rabbit, as I said, and the last card is Deck Devastation Virus. Also, again, a card that shits on whole decks. Right now, Konami is making a lot of decks that doesn't have high attack powers. So right now, I kind of feel it's just like Crush Card was back when it was. Because everything at that point had high attack.
Yeah, Konami is now doing small monsters with super cool broken effects.
Yeah. Before you had Dark Arm Dragon, super powerful monster with high attack.
You had Monarchs and
Monarchs, yeah. So, not banning it, just putting it at 1, because you have to tribute something with 2,000 or more, not 1,000 or less. But still, getting a monster with 2,000 or more is actually pretty easy right now. Even Mermaid sided, because, Diva makes Librarian or Catasta. Also, you have Dragon Gores. Then Dark Wolves, of course, can just, they have too many ways of summoning something with more than 2,000. Then you have Fire Fist, summoning Vorse Raider with just one of their spell or trap cards down. That's 2,000. Yeah.
And I can see your point, because Evil Swarm is going to be right around the corner, and they're using Deck Devastation also.
They're dark too. So by having that card that accessible, the chances of different kind of decks just gets lowered. I want 6 top decks if possible. it's not likely gonna happen anyway. But I think that would
I think
be the
most
healthiest for the environment.
I think most will disagree with you at that, because when we entered this format, and there was such a wide all decks could pretty much top, and then it got narrowed down to the top 5, and now it's down to like a top 4 of decks, and people seem to more like that.
Well, yeah, that's mainly because a lot of people don't know how to side properly. So using their 15 cards for 5-6 decks is hard, but if you have enough cards that can be used, if you have a card that can be used against 4 of the matchups, I think that it's fair then that you have 6 kind of matchups. You always have those rogue decks, so anyways, your side deck won't always be as good as the opponents you're facing.
Yeah, I know. I can see my limited list is way off yours. I have for mermaids, I have Undyne at 1. It's just too broken. It's a +2 and it's a cost, so you can't do anything to it. You can't Veiler, you can't challenge. Finish Chain does nothing except stopping adding a controller. And even though adding a controller, it's just discard fodder or a lure fodder for that, so you get more cards.
Or you can even summon it. It's a tuner.
Yeah, and it's the controller isn't even bad. It's a level 3 tuner, and Undyne is level 3, so it's just too broken. I think
there's a play with if you want ultimate offering, by having 1 ultimate offering and 1 Undyne, that's 8,000 damage to your opponent.
Then I have 2 cards hitting mermaids. I have Diva also to 1. I know a lot of people might disagree with that, since Diva is like Tour Guide, and Tour Guide is semi-limited, but Diva is tuner, and it gets a wide array of sea serpents.
It does, but it's still limited, as in you can add until the OCG cards Armor Kappa is coming out. It making rank 2 exceeds right now isn't very good. So you can either make a level 5 synchro, a level 4 synchro, or a level 2 exceed. Whereas
you can also make level 7 if you have. You can make.
No, that requires more cards, just alone.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Tour Guide can make Zenmains, Livia. It can make very powerful cards.
I'm just saying, in mermaids, making a diva for infantry and then another diva, it's just way too good. So that, because of that combo, I think it should be at 1.
Yeah.
I have Rescue Rabbit at 1, narrowing down Fire Fist, dino-rabbit, and Evil Swarm. I think Rescue Rabbit is just too good.
Exactly.
And for wind-ups, I have, since I banned Shockmaster, I have put Shark at 1 and Factory at 1. I think the deck is still playable, but it has limited options.
Yeah, that was one of my options, but I opted for banning St. Mighty instead of making Factory at 1.
Then I have, like you said, 1 day FPs. I hate those fucked up decks, really. I hate Burn, I hate Exodia, I hate all of that.
It's okay that they exist, but they should never get to a higher level. They are rogue decks, and they shouldn't be the ones that rules the format.
No. Then I have Mind August. Yeah, like you said, you had it on banned, but I have Mind August at 1, just because I don't think Loop should exist.
But actually, with you had Card Destruction banned, and then you had 1 day FPs at 1, and if you have Ivigishki, if they go first, and they play Darkhold in main, which they would at that point, they can make the loop still on their first turn. Of course, you have ways of stopping it.
Yeah.
So it's more fair. But if you don't main those cards, and not everyone mains Veiler right now, you would actually you will still lose to the loop, but instead of taking maybe 10 minutes, it would take 30 minutes or so making the entire loop, because you could only reuse one day of piece one at a time, and they don't need card destruction. They use it when you have 20 cards in hand just to finish the game. Right now, they would have to use one day of piece until you have drawn every single card in your deck.
Yeah, but I've put it at 1, so if people play bottomless or Veilands, they still have a chance against it.
Yeah.
And for the last card, I have Lagia at 1.
Okay, so both Rabbit and Lagia at 1.
Yeah, I think since Lagia is it's just when Rabbit goes for Lagia, they set like 4 or 5 back rows. It's like Solemn Judgment, but it's a beat stick. So, and Solemn Judgment is at 1. So I think it would be only fair if Lagia is at 1 too.
Well, I only think that Lagia is OP with Rescue Rabbit, and with that being at 1, and of course you have Livia plays, but still, I don't think that it should get hit, because that would be hitting the Archetype Evils, since it's actually made for them, and as I said earlier, I don't like hitting those underdog archetypes and decks. And I know Konami won't do it if they can avoid it. If they have something else they could just do instead, they won't hit their archetypes in their power monsters.
Yeah, but I've put Lagia as a maybe. It's because I didn't know how many limited cards. It seems like it's between 5 to 7 cards each time. So let's discuss semi-limited. Have you given it a thought for what might be semi-limited?
Yeah, I have 5 cards on the list. The first one being Atlantean Dragoons on semi-limited. It's a really strong card. Of course, Undyne is what makes it even stronger, because Undyne just gets a free search with any Sea Serpent. That could include Diva, which you limited. So it's a strong card, but hitting it too hard would crush the deck. It can survive without a problem with Dragoons on 2. Making it one that it would be too harsh for the deck unless they actually release more discarding cards. I know they have some Mermail discarding cards, but their powers just aren't effective enough as it is right now. Then I have Fire Formation Tanky. As you said earlier, last ban list they semi-limited a lot of search cards. So semi-limiting Tanky right now wouldn't kill the deck. Fire Fist, of course, it will hurt them, but Mermaids are being hurt as well. And then, but the problem with Tanky is people actually splash it in what now? Everything that runs the Beast Warrior.
Yeah, GBs, wind-ups.
I've seen X-Sabers topped in OCG with running 3 Tankies just to search Bogart Knight, and then they had 1 bear. So they just put a lot of Tankies and 1 bear or maybe 2 in the deck. It shouldn't be being a Rota and a splashable one, not just the Archetype one. That should get hit. If it doesn't get hit this format, it will next.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I actually think Fire Fist won't have anything hit until the next list. But already now in the OCG, because of the Tachyon Galaxy, they're so broken right now with the Spirit Chicken combo.
Yeah. Which is why I think Tanky should get hit.
They will definitely get hit next time.
Yeah. Then I have New Space in Grand Mole on 2. I don't see that card as it's moved up from 1. I don't see that card being too strong right now compared to what it was. It gets rid of Exceeds and Synchros, and if you against a fusion, but it's a slow card requiring your normal summon, and right now most decks have either way of normal summoning again, or they could just special summon cards from their hand or graveyard. So Mole isn't that strong right now.
No. Okay.
If you look at the decks right now, most of them, I can't recall seeing a Mole for quite some time now.
No.
Then I have Gladiator Beast Bestiae. GBs aren't so strong. And I was thinking they always put something. They always move something up for better use, and I didn't want to take some of. So I looked through the ban list we have right now, and Bestiary just didn't seem like one card that would wreck coming back, because we have so much back row destruction right now, so much. So having another one for ice types in Firefist you have Gorilla. In Mermails you have Marksman/Infantry. So a lot of decks right now can easily pop back rows. So Bestiary wouldn't be a problem. It would just be fair. Of course, it makes Gusaro's place stronger, but I don't think that it would change that much for the format.
Okay, what's your last card?
Mizuki, because I wanted something back for zombies. As again, they are not that used right now, and I was thinking about either Mizuki or Plague Brother, but I was afraid that if returning Plague Brother to 2 would be a lot stronger than returning Mizuki.
Okay.
So yeah.
I should have. I would just want to say it's kind of unpredictable to say what Konami will semi-limited and unlimited. Yeah. But I've given it a shot, and I have Book of Moon at 2. I think it's so random at 1, and it's a good card. And then I have Tsukuyomi at 2. Because it came back to 1, but no one's really using it. I mean,
some people cite it, but it doesn't really seem like a good side choice either.
It didn't do anything coming back into this such a fast format. So then I have I could easily see Mizuki, like you said, maybe Gale coming back to 2 just to give Blackwing some back.
With the release of some new Blackwing cards. Here.
And it's only fair since
makes sense.
Factory has been at 3 for so long. I even think Black Whirlwind should be at 2 as well. Blackwings deserve to have some form back.
If you just said that you limited Factory, so by limit you can't limit Factory and then put Black Whirlwind back at 2.
But Whirlwind is kind of it's more bad. It's a poorly version of Factory. Factory is just when an effect is activated. You can actually stop. If you stop the summon in any way in Blackwings, you won't get to search.
Yeah, but with I know that but Wind Up is a deck that requires a lot of combos. They need cards to work with each other, whereas Blackwing, just you summon a strong monster, gets another strong monster. You summon that, you get a Kalut.
Yeah,
so that which just makes the first monster that much stronger, and so it's just most of them is just a lot of cards that are too strong on their own.
And they could be special summoned. Any one of them can barely be special summoned, right? For the last card, I have I've given it some thoughts, and I have actually put Darkhold on 2, since Torrential and Reborn, not Reborn, but Torrential and Mirror Force are 2, and Darkhold doesn't really. I don't think it does that much. It's kind of subpar to Heavy Storm and Reborn, I mean in OCG, a lot of them side decks Darkhold because
I've seen a lot of people don't or some doesn't even use it.
And I heard we have some Japanese people at our local. Those little kids, and they know a lot about the OCG, and I asked them why that is, and they said it's because now they also have wind-ups, right? So They can go shock lock as well. And we know that's devastating, but they also have the evil swarm. And when they go into Ophion and get that the infestation spell card.
Yeah, you can kill it with Dark Hole.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of people side deck Dark Hole. That's why I've given it some thought, and Mirror Force and Tarantula are 2, so maybe Dark Hole should be a 2. But like you said, maybe Reborn should be banned then. Not too many power cards should exist.
Yeah, if they ban Reborn, I actually think that putting Dark Hole at 2 would be fair, because with Evil Swarms, and I've actually seen some decks right now not using it, decks that want field presence, they don't use Dark Hole.
And I mean, Dark Hole is kind of like you use it so often, you're just going to use it like a 1-for-1 to kill the Thunder King, just because that Thunder King stops your whole deck. So a lot of time, Dark Hole is just going to be like a 1-for-1 destruction. And that's, I think it...
Or 2-for-2 or something like that.
It could easily go to 2, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't written anything for Unlimited since it's kind of unpredictable.
I've actually written some things for No Longer Limited.
Okay, let's hear it.
With me banning Black Luster Soldier, Primal Seed would go back to 3.
Yeah.
Then Magical Stone Excavation at 3. I'm not sure if it's on 2 because there's some kind of loop. I've checked, but I couldn't find anything. So I think it was put to 2 because that Diamond Dude Turbos could abuse it too hard. But it doesn't seem like it's the strongest card right now. So putting it at 3 wouldn't hurt anybody. And you shouldn't have a card on the ban list just because it was there before. And yeah, well, you get my point.
Yeah, okay.
And then the last card is Book of Moon at 3.
Okay, so you have it at 3, yeah, okay.
Book of Moon was, I think it was mainly banned, because, limited, was because at that time X-Saber ruled.
I also think Empty Jar had an impact. But if card destruction was to get banned, I could easily see Book of Moon go to 2 or 3.
Of course, Empty Jar. But still, Fulham Knight was a strong card at that time.
I agree.
Because almost every card had less than 1300 defense. So Book of Mooning, then Fulham Knighting, going into a Bacchia. Because you had added Dark Soul. That was strong. But right now, most decks don't have that problem anymore. Mermails does have that problem, as only Megalo and Glacier has more than 1300 defense. But that's just one deck. Most decks actually could survive. Book of 3 and X-Saber isn't a strong deck right now. Not very, at least. So I could easily see Book of 3, since most people don't even use it right now. And people have a tendency to just, it's at 1, I have to use it because it's good.
And then other people have the mindset like, it's at 1, I don't want to use it when it's at 1. What good does it do?
Yeah.
Do you have any more on the unlimited list?
No.
Okay, so we have some things we agree on, and then we have totally different views on how the ban list turns out.
Well, I've agreed to quite a few of those that you put on your list.
And I can see your arguments for some of your cards.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll have to wait after YCS Miami, or just before YCS Bochum. Maybe it will be revealed at Bochum.
Yeah, I think that the revealing time of the ban list would be around Friday, Saturday at that point. But who knows when it's gonna be revealed.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for the interview, Martin.
Well, you're welcome, Ricky.